Are we start? Is this the start?
Sorry,
of the
we've
podcast?
started. Yeah, we can start.
Well, welcome back to the podcast.
You don't tell me that. Tell them that.
Well, yeah. Where am I looking?
Like, any of these.
Welcome
cameras.
back. Welcome back to the podcast. It's been a little while.
It has.
I mean, we've been releasing stuff from last year, but it's been a little while since
We took a bit of a gap over the Christmas break.
Yeah.
And then we released an episode last week, which was the one we recorded at Brotherhood, which was live, which I
was
guess
last
has
year.
taught us a lot about recording a podcast live, and that it took so long to edit it and put it back together. There's just a couple of things. So it was just like, oh, this is a lot more work than I thought it was going to be, but it was good.
It felt different doing it live.
Yeah.
To be honest. It was a hard topic to do live as well, but it was good fun. And I think it turned out all right. So I think it's worth going to check it out.
Yes, if you haven't listened to it, we talked about the culture wars, we talked about politics, and I really like that episode because I feel like as a Christian, we are bombarded by so many different opinions about, well, if you're a Christian, this is how you should vote. Or if you're a Christian, this is how you should do this. And it comes from both sides. I feel like it comes from both sides.
We are bombarded with stuff.
We can be bombarded with stuff. But I feel like this conversation is really good. I really liked how Nate came back to, and Darren came back to, that it's not like having the bigger perspective of this is about the kingdom. Like, what's the kingdom perspective? What's actually important?
It was like, let's zoom out from, this party, that party.
Yeah.
These kind of detailed nuances, and let's look at it from a kingdom perspective, which is what I love about how Jesus kind of approached things, right?
Yes.
So either side of kind of the spectrum in his time, though no one could really pin him down.
Yes.
Because it's like, well, I'm about something completely different.
Yeah.
And
that's good. I really like that. I think a lot about in the story of Joshua, how before the Israelites take Jericho, Joshua is visited by the angel of the Lord.
Mm.
And this point is not this is not a profound point that I made up. This is something I heard A.R. Bernard talk about.
Oh, he's legend.
He's great. And he talked about how in that moment, it's like Joshua asks the angel of the Lord, like, hey, whose side do you want?
Mm.
And the angel of the Lord's like, oh, no one's side.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Like, this is Joshua who's leading the promised, like, who is leading the chosen people of God. He's leading the Israelites, like God's chosen people, which is at the time is like the way that God was, and still is, like the way that God, advancing his kingdom on the earth was through the Israelites, right? And even to those people, God's like, I'm not on your side. I'm above all of this. And I think it's reminding ourselves of that, especially with stuff going on in the world at the moment. It's like reminding ourselves, like, even it can be very easy to get swept away in like what's happening in this party, what's happening here, what's happening there. But it's like having that bigger perspective. And I think that conversation with Nate and Darren did really well at bringing us up to that, like have a higher perspective about this.
Yeah.
It's not that you shouldn't be interested or care about politics or the culture wars, but in the end of the day, is that like the main thing that you're focusing on is who do I vote for? Or is it what's God doing in the world today and how can I be a part of that?
Politics is important. We want Christians in politics. We want Christians we want believers influencing that part of society. So anyway, good conversation.
Yeah.
But welcome back to the podcast.
Yes, welcome back to this podcast.
And to address the elephant in the room, there's a
new set.
Bit of a set change.
It is a little bit.
Which I think looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
It feels really cozy.
Yeah.
It feels
when Simo and I were kind of brainstorming what this space could look like, we were inspired by Tower Cinemas. I don't know if anyone's had a chance to go. I actually still haven't been yet to the new Tower Cinemas.
We've got to go see a movie there.
We should. What are you doing tonight? We've got to watch
worship and prayer tonight. But yeah, they've redone the building and it's got kind of the 70s style.
Well, I don't know if they redid the building as much as they just left everything. Like they added stuff to it, but they definitely felt like that before as well.
Oh, it is like spitting. Like I used to go there as a kid.
Yeah,
and
back in the 70s. Or
no. Well, my grandma used to take me, and I walked in not long ago, and because they've tried to keep everything as original as possible.
Yeah,
like the carpets, they've redone the carpets, but they tried to stay custom original stuff like that. Leather seats, kind of walls like drapes this color.
Yeah,
and I walked in, and I was just like nostalgia galore, just like all that like just hit me, bombarded me, and I was walking in with my kids. And I'm like, I've got to go see some music. But anyway, that was part of we're thinking about what do we do?
Yep.
And we wanted to have something a little bit different, a little bit more cozy. And so this is it. It might change again over the years, but this is awesome.
You might be like a visual person like Simo and I are. And it's like, this new set is awesome. And we're going to add some stuff to it. But I think more than just the set looking different, it's not like that wasn't the only thing we've been planning. Like, there's actually a bit of it's intentional why we've changed things up. Intentional why we've gone for that. Like we're doing table instead of chairs now.
Table time.
Yeah. And we don't want to go into too many details, but I think it's good to know. It's like, hey, we are changing a few things
We're going
up.
for a bit of a gear shift for this year, hey?
Yeah.
Our heart is to continually make the podcast better and different and beneficial to people.
Yes.
And so I think some of the things that we're going to change this year, things that I'm looking forward to, we're probably going to be less external guest heavy.
Yeah.
We're going to be more internal guest heavy.
Getting a call.
I'm getting a call. Come on. What a rookie. Sorry, mate. Just hung up on that guy. We want to be internal guests.
Yeah.
And we want to talk about maybe the series that we're in. We want to talk a bit more inside in-shop, but so it's going to feel a bit more familiar in that sense.
Yeah, we do kind of want it to feel like a conversation that you might have with someone in our church. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess I want someone who's listening to this to feel like they could sit down with you and have that conversation.
100%.
Or they could sit down at the table with someone like a Pastor Nate and a Pastor Darren.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we want you to feel like this is a part of the conversation. But I think the main reason behind that is that from day dot of doing this podcast, we've always had the heart, and this is something we really want to be so true for this year with the podcast, is that the heart of this is to equip you as a disciple.
Yeah.
And recently with Vision, which is super cool,
Come on.
Pastor Nate
Vision is
launched
awesome.
and Pastor Rachel launched our new vision statement.
Yep.
Do you know it? Can you recite it?
Oh, you put me on the spot here, Chris. Because I'm kind of undoing the old one. So it's a C3 victory. C3 victory, a home for hope, empowered by the Spirit to equip disciples to advance the kingdom of God.
That's pretty close.
Ooh,
the only thing that's different is that it's a home for hope that is Spirit empowered.
That is
not empowered by the Spirit.
Well, see, that's part of the old one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the old one, which is if you were here, 2000, I think 2010. It was Pastor Keith launched it. Yeah. And it was from there until maybe 2020, maybe. It was a life-giving church empowered by the Spirit to influence the city and beyond for the kingdom of God.
Well, you're going to confuse people now.
Yeah, no, sorry. I'll cut that out.
What's the goal for the 2030 vision?
Yeah, so...
Do you know the goals? The key goals?
The key goals were...
There's lots of goals.
There's a few, but the ones that Pastor Nate launched was we're going to raise and deploy 100 leaders.
Come on.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
We are going to plant 2 campuses.
Yep.
Which is the one that for me, I'm like, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
sounds fun. That's huge. And there were more.
They were the 2 key ones.
There were the 2 big. There were other ones. What were the other ones? We should know this. Hang on. Oh, go back and watch the sermon if you don't know it. Hang on. I don't remember what the other ones were. There were other ones.
Yeah.
There's a new mission partnership, which is cool. I don't know if that's one of the goals though. Oh, a building for our church.
100%.
That's a main one. That was one of the ones.
If you're out there and you got a building or
yes, please. If you listen to this podcast and you're a property
got
developer,
a piece of land, come talk to me.
Be great.
We're looking, aren't we?
Yes.
100%.
So there's a building. There were other things. So you should go watch any of the sermons from the Vision series if you haven't seen them and catch up. And I'm going to go do that after this because I really should. I really want to know the goals.
Get a refresher.
Yes. But the vision statement, coming back to that, which is a life-giving church that is Spirit empowered. Home for hope.
No, start again.
C3 victory. Sorry, let's start
victory.
that again. The vision statement. C3 victory, a home for hope, that's Spirit empowered to equip disciples who advance the kingdom. And that main thing is equipping disciples.
Yeah.
And that is what the heart of this podcast is.
Yes.
Is to equip you for your discipleship, to equip you with a tool that you can use to grow yourself, that you can use to strengthen your relationship with Jesus, but then also a tool that you can easily use to help other people on their journey of discipleship. Because really that's kind of the whole goal of discipleship, is that not that we would keep our faith to ourselves, but that we would actually be empowered
to be a resource,
advance the kingdom of God.
Share it around.
Exactly.
I think
move my mug.
It's 100% we want to equip disciples. And I think a big part of that is being able to have conversations that are really difficult to have on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Expanded conversations include story, testimony of our own experience in our lives.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a more personal way to go about it. And I hope that these kind of conversations can overflow in table spaces.
Yep.
And we want to have, like, our heart is to invite people from our church onto this podcast, like, hear their story.
Yeah.
Hear what God has done in their life. I mean, I can think of like 5 people off the top of my head right now. I mean, that doesn't sound like I feel like I would want to invite to this podcast.
Yeah.
So I want to hear stories, which is going to be really cool.
Yeah.
But we're going to be able to chat about things.
Yeah. We also want to like know what you want. Not you. What you, the audience, want to know. Which camera? There's so many. I'm going to look at any.
Got to get used to this.
Is that Pedro Pascal meme where he looks back, and then you should know this as well. It's like we want you to also tell us, like, what do you want to hear about? Because I think we also want this space to serve you guys. You know what I mean? We want to serve you guys in this space.
Yep.
So let us know if there's any topics that you like. And I think we were talking a little bit about, like, we want to talk about things that just answer questions and are super practical. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not just like high level theology stuff. Like, there's stuff out there.
Yeah. We'll go into it a little bit.
We'll touch on that stuff. We love theology. I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
But it's not a theology podcast. It's really
well, you don't need to be a theologian to like this podcast.
That's right.
Yes.
And we want to talk about practical things. We don't want it to be so like concepts so high up here that you can't see how it affects your normal everyday life.
Yes.
So that's a big part of it too.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If you've got questions on your mind, like you're thinking, what should I be thinking about in regards to this? Like current world things as well as just everyday stuff. Send through a text, shoot it through on the
let us know
on the Instagram or I don't know, whatever. Find us, grab us, talk to us at church.
Yes.
But it's going to be fun.
That's
going to be good.
Speaking of fun, I have a question for you. So this year I have a goal, and I would like your input on it because I know you're a fiend for this. I would like to follow F1 this year. I want to get into F1 racing.
So you're not into F1?
I'm not into F1 racing. And I feel like I am not excluded out of the office groups, but definitely feel like I'm marginalized just a little bit because I don't know F1. And I kind of get it. On the plane ride over to my wife and I, Leah and I, we went to America this year over Christmas, and I watched the F1 movie on the plane. And I was like, this is really cool, but I kind of now feel like I need to get into it.
Yes.
So can you tell me where do I start? But also like what's going on this year with what's going on that I need to know?
Oh, I don't know where to start, Chris. Firstly, glad you're getting into it. I was never into car racing until I was lucky enough to go to the F1.
Yep.
And I learned all about it. And it's not, I just thought it was cars going around and around and around. Yep. But it's when you learn the strategy and the tactics that they're employing and all this kind of stuff. I don't know where to start. I think the best place to start is probably Drive to Survive.
Okay.
The newest season's out.
Netflix, right?
Netflix.
Okay.
But it was last season's competition.
Right.
That's dramatized. So it's not current season.
Okay.
But it'll give you a good lowdown. What I found helpful, and I didn't watch too much of it to be honest, was buying into the characters, as in knowing the drivers as like characters from this show, really helped me buy in. Like I wanted to know their names, who's on what team, and then slowly you kind of learn more and more detail. And then when you're watching it, it's not just cars going around and around. There's like it's enriched by these characters, the character story arcs. F1 is notorious for having like so much like garbage, trash, kind of just rumors, like rumors galore. But this part of the fun is just hearing about all the rumors and seeing if it unfolds.
Yeah.
So Drive to Survive.
So it's kind of like reality TV.
There's a little bit of that to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there really is. And so like coming into a race weekend, you might hear rumors of like currently there's a regulation change, right? So all the cars are brand new, built from scratch.
Yep.
And so some cars that were really good last year are going to be trashed this year because they're just brand new cars. And so there's rumors like, oh, this car's not going to last 20 minutes. And you're like, I want to watch this. You know what I mean? Like they've spent millions upon millions of dollars. Is this car even going to make it to the end of the race?
Yeah, right. Okay.
And then it doesn't. Or like one of the cars, right, vibrates too much that the drivers can't feel their hands after 20 laps.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Drive to Survive, man. Get onto that.
Okay.
And after a while, you'll find people that watch it, and you'll be able to have the conversations with them about it.
Okay.
But I kind of feel the same with footy. Like I've never been a big footy guy.
Yeah. Right.
I've liked it, but I've never been deep into it.
Never been deep into it.
But my son is now into footy.
Yeah. Right.
Loves NRL. We've got KO now, which is just killing all my cash flow. But
how much is KO?
It's like $40 a month. But we don't have any other streaming services.
Right, okay, that's it.
And William loves watching. He'll watch every game.
Yeah.
And if he's watched all the replays of every game, he'll start watching replays of the female games. Like he just loves it. And so I'm into footy now.
Very progressive of him.
He's very progressive. But now I'll put myself into a tipping comp. So it's forcing me to like learn names and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
So I'm kind of like pushing my way into it.
Are you allowed to say you're in a tipping comp on a church podcast? So that's not gambling.
Well, no, we're not. There's no money involved.
Oh, okay,
It's just like a group.
Like, we don't condone gambling.
No gambling.
But this episode is brought to you by Sportsbet.
Sports.
It's not.
Go, you good thing. Go. I've seen the Ladbrokes.
No, we're not talking. I don't want to give any more, no more platform.
I enjoyed F1, but I also made myself like dig into it to enjoy it because I knew that like I had a group of friends that were into it and I was like, I want to talk to them about it.
Yes.
But I genuinely enjoy it. I'm not faking it. You know what I mean?
Like
but the part of the reason I wanted to get into it was because I'm like, well, my mates are into it.
Which, if you use that same logic, is a good reason to tell your mates about this podcast so you'll have something to talk about.
That's a shameless plug. Shameless plug. I've got to shout you out, Chris, because I feel like I just want to shout you out. You've been behind the scenes a lot on the podcast, and I think some people know that. Maybe not everyone knows that, but you basically you've set up the podcast, like mics, the gear, you record it, you do the there's like 3 cameras, lighting here. You sort all this the setup, like you've done the hard work in making this podcast.
Look, we love it. It's fun,
and the editing and everything goes behind it. And just want to shout you out because is this the first time?
This is the second time.
Oh, we did
the first time on camera. This is if you don't know what I look like, but
no, again, on the podcast.
It was the second time on the podcast because we did that episode.
Like a mid-year or a 1-year anniversary.
Which is kind of what this is going to be. It's probably going to be one of those episodes where not many people listen to it, but that's okay.
But
if you're listening to it, then it's good.
So it's good to have you
Thanks,
on.
Man.
And you this podcast wouldn't happen without you. Oh. So thank you for everything you do, man.
Thanks, bro.
I've got a couple of questions for you about the podcast.
I didn't derail this conversation.
You haven't derailed it. I will talk about F1.
If you would like to know
footy.
more
I'll talk about footy.
Footy.
I won't talk about. I know Pastor Nate likes his A-League.
Yeah,
is it A-League?
We'll probably end up talking about
like
A-League.
The Jets. Yeah, they've done like really good this year, right?
Yeah, apparently.
I can't stand. I'm going to be honest.
You can't stand it.
I like football, as in traditional football. Can't stand Australian. It's a dog's breakfast.
Yeah. Look,
European, like the proper stuff.
We just won't show past Nate this podcast and we'll be fine.
I know there's probably some AFL fans out there. We'll get into stuff. But I already asked that kind of question. Is there a topic or conversation you've been sitting on or that you're keen to see us dig into? I haven't prepped you with any of these questions.
It's a good question. I would love to hear more about how to read the Bible. Which is like super fundamental, sounds like super fundamental. Sounds like super basic.
Yeah.
But I actually think how you approach reading your Bible is so make or break for your discipleship. It's so make or break for your journey and your relationship with Jesus. Because I feel like in seasons in my life where I've approached reading my Bible very legalistically, because I haven't known what else to do.
Yeah.
Then it's like, I feel like I don't feel like it's satisfying my soul. But then there's also seasons where if I neglect reading my Bible, then it's also not satisfying my soul. So it's like how do you build it? Where does the mix between like discipline in reading a Bible, but also like a relationship with God that's not just discipline based? You know what I mean?
It's a great question.
And I've tried asking myself that when I do my personal devotions. But even that word devotions, it's like, oh, do you do devotions or do you spend time with Jesus? Or like, should I use YouVersion shameless plug for our YouVersion Bible, like the YouVersion Bible app. We've got reading plans on there. You need to turn your phone on silent, man. What's going on?
I've just had 3 calls from people I just don't ever have calls from. Out of control.
So that's something I'd like to talk about.
Yep.
And other things like I'm keen to hear people's stories. I'm keen to hear some testimonies this year.
Yeah, I'm keen to hear testimonies.
And look, also, I'm about to become a dad, which is super exciting.
Yes.
So I will take I would love any conversations about.
Well, we're gonna have a podcast like a couple of weeks after you've had your baby or something.
Sure.
And then you'll have lots of questions, or a couple months.
I might come back very tired. How do you? I'll just be like,
just looking.
It's just going to be me disheveled. Like, what do you do? How do we do this?
But we want to have fun on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
So we want to have a bit of fun. It's not just going to be. I mean, the set might look serious, but it's more cozy than serious.
Yeah.
We want to have fun. I'm assuming most people might listen to it in their car, so they're not going to see the set.
Someone told me that they actually sit down and watch the podcast. They
have an amazing attention span. Then
wow, it's incredible.
I don't have the attention span.
I think more people watch this than you think, which is cool.
Then more people watch it.
And if you're watching the social, more people are definitely listening to it.
Oh, okay.
You can get the video on Spotify, which is kind of cool. So you actually, when you listen to it on Spotify, it plays with the video. So if you're if you put your phone, like what I do when I listen to podcasts, is I put my phone down on the kitchen bench if I'm like cooking or if like whatever. I don't know in the car, but like if I'm whatever, and I'll just have it playing there. And then when I'm doing stuff, and every now and then I'll be watching it and going back and stuff like that. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I do that too.
That's good. What about you, man? What like conversations do you want to have this year?
Conversation I'm really keen to have is about AI.
Yeah, right.
I've been enjoying digging into it. I might be a little bit.
You've been going hard. You've been diving deep, man.
It might be a little bit self-indulgent, but I do think it would be a good one to talk about. I think it's going to, a lot of people might be thinking about it, talking about it. There's so many aspects that we can touch on.
Yeah.
We'll probably won't get to it in one podcast.
Probably not.
But I'm keen to talk about AI. Like it's such a big thing in our world right now, and how does it affect our lives going forward?
How do you, I think just even from as practical as like what do you use AI for or not, but then also like how do what are the spiritual ramifications of AI? You know what I mean? Like
that's an interesting one.
What does this mean for our world? I mean, and again, you're probably hearing this like, oh great, they're going to talk about AI, buzzword. Like our goal wouldn't be that in that conversation you'd leave feeling like, oh, like cool, nothing was added of value. Like we want it to feel like you could walk away from that conversation being like, oh, okay. I know,
totally.
That's good. Like I feel like I've either equipped to better use it, equipped to more safely use it, or equipped to not, or like don't feel fearful about it, or maybe you do have more. Look, the whole thing about AI, man, I'm so in two minds about it because on one hand, I love the practical, like some of the things that it offers practically. It's great. On the other hand, I straight up think sometimes I'm like, man, what if this is like another Tower of Babel thing? You know what I mean? Like, what if this is like, and maybe this is going too deep down the rabbit hole, but it's like,
well, we're going to get in. We should get into it on a podcast.
What if this is another Tower of Babel thing? What if this is like
the Antichrist?
What if it is the Antichrist? I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it is.
What if it's a fantastic tool?
What if it's just a fantastic tool?
Help humanity.
Yeah.
Look, we're going to get into it. I think it's loaded with a lot of good stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Around that. So I'm looking forward to that one.
But again, if you have an idea of like, if you're listening to this and you're like, I would love to hear a conversation about this, please just chuck it in the comments. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Spotify, if you're on Apple Podcast, just leave a comment and just say like, whatever. And also rate the show if you haven't yet, because the more rates we get, helps other people find it.
It helps.
Which we want as many people to hear this.
We hope people find it and it benefits them. Yes. Our primary goal is to like be for people that are part of our church. Amen. That's the first goal. If it reaches other people, fantastic. That's lovely. But that's not our goal. We're not trying to be.
The goal is not just to be in everyone's playlist.
No. But
obviously God can use this podcast to do what he does. It says in Isaiah that his word goes forth and it will not return void. And hopefully some of the things that we say on this podcast will carry the voice of God. Some of these things on this podcast might, be his word. Let's hope so.
Oh, no, 100%.
Let's hope so. It should be. But it will be.
It will be. It's going to be great. And
absolutely.
Another thing I'm keen to talk about is maybe something that guys don't talk about much, which is stress and limitations in life.
Yeah.
Keen to talk about that. I think that's a really big topic that no one likes to talk about, or guys just find that it's a hard one to talk about.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to bring up. Who do I talk to about this? I think as guys, we don't want to be seen as limited or lacking or sense of weakness.
Yeah.
And I think
it's kind of like, I don't know about you. I'm like, what about hustle culture? You know what I mean? Like you get so much stuff on your Instagram feed.
Oh.
It's like if you're not working 25 hours a day, you're doing something wrong.
There's that guy that's like, I'm sure someone's seen this meme.
Yes.
This is a terrible idea to try and explain a meme on a podcast. I'm sure people have seen this.
I'll put it in the episode.
The guy's
we'll
like,
here we go,
there's usually 12 hours in a day, but he gets more. He's like, from like 6 a.m. to 12 noon, that's day one.
Yeah, he's trying to say like what we have was one day, he makes 3 days. He has 3 days and 24 hours.
Yeah, anyway, it's really funny.
But it's hustle culture. Like when you hear that all the time, go blah, 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 blah. It's like, let's be real. I don't know about you. Maybe there are people listening to this podcast who do work 24 hours a day. It's like, you go, man. That's awesome. But I feel like there's always, no matter how hard we work, there's always that feeling of, I need to be working harder. You know what I mean? And sometimes that can be good. Some people have to, but also
have to, which is a reality.
Some people do, but also like, how do you know when it's the difference between when it's like conviction, like, hey, actually like get up, get under gear, versus like condemnation, which is like, hey, like
I need to be working more.
You've got to be working more, otherwise it's not valuable.
Or it's identity driven.
Yes.
What's animating or, energizing that pursuit or that drive?
Yeah.
Is it image creation? All that kind of stuff. I think that's a really good topic to talk about.
Yep.
There's going to be so many good topics. Yep. If you are new to the podcast, go check out all the previous episodes.
Go listen to them. They're good.
We talked to all kinds of people. It's been fun. And it's going to be good. It's going to be good 2026. 2026. Jeez.
Time flies.
What the heck is going on? All right, Chris, I've got a last question for you. I feel like we're wrapping up here.
Let's wrap it up.
If a bloke stumbles across this podcast with no context, what would you want him to know about what we're doing here?
I would say I would want a guy to know that they have a greater purpose. They have great value. And there is a life worth living with Jesus and with other people that is so much better than you can imagine. And sometimes that life requires you to put in a little bit of work to grow your faith, to grow your relationship with Jesus. It's like reps in the gym, right?
Yep.
Like you gotta put the reps in. And that doesn't always, like that can look like going to church on a Sunday, which it should, absolutely. Being a part of a table space, absolutely. Serving on a team, absolutely. But there's also those things you can do during the week, like chucking on a podcast where you got people who are not just random voices, but people who deeply care about your spiritual well-being, talking about things that really matter to your life, and it will truly grow you. Because ultimately, we can have the best guests on this podcast. We could get Pastor Phil Pringle, which we will one day.
Could we?
We're going to have Pastor.
Could we?
We are going to get Pastor Phil Pringle on this podcast one day.
Yeah.
We're going to get, we could have Joe Rogan on this podcast, the most popular people in the world. Like we could have any of the best guests.
I don't think we could, Chris, but I love your optimism.
But at the end of the day, it's not about who's on this podcast.
No.
We really believe that the conversations that we have, the Holy Spirit will use to grow great fruit in the lives of those who listen to it. So I would say it's a good enough reason to listen to it. and
good reason.
suggested, I reckon.
Yeah.
And we hope that it's not boring. We hope that we entertain you along the way. You know
Tell
what
us
I mean?
if it's boring. Hey?
Yeah, if it is boring.
We want to know.
We do want to know.
We don't want to be emperor with no clothes. Like, tell us if this is boring and you're not getting anything out of it. We'll change it. We've been changing it non-stop since we started. Yeah. We want to be in a digital space. We want to be in your car. We want to have conversations that are hard to have on Sundays. We want to see people grow and be discipled. And it's a great resource for people you might know that won't walk into a church building yet.
Amen.
But might be keen to hear a little bit more about stuff. And
it's good.
So, yeah, good start to the year. Okay. It's good to get this initial one happening, man. But
and the next podcast episode, we've
got Pastor Nate on. We've got Pastor Nate, Pastor Darren.
The OG trio.
Yeah, and we want us to talk about, it's a little bit late in the year, but the topic's like really around that New Year vibe.
Yeah. It's like, how do you, it's, you know, everyone, we all had resolutions. We all had things we were going to do this year. And
it's all that, that's kind of reinventing
we've
yourselves.
Sort of dropped a lot. We've sort of quit a lot of those things, right? Like
that happens. And it's not going to be a cheesy one about resolutions and you need to have resolutions and stuff, but really about that vibe at the start of the year and maybe how we're feeling now.
Yes.
After we had those goals, how we feeling now, how we're tracking, and how we can keep going forward.
How do you fight the good fight?
That's it. So
absolutely.
It's good stuff, man. Thanks for being on thanks for everything you do again. Thanks for being on the
thank
pod.
you, Simo. And thank you for doing everything you do.
It's going to be a good year.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's good. Okay. Be blessed.